The Westminster Latin play has been running for over 400 years. It was started by Queen Elizabeth I almost immediately after her refoundation of the school in 1560, and has continued with a few breaks here and there to this day. Over the centuries, it became more and more of a great social occasion, and after the last war, there were many who felt that as such it was obsolete. Moreover, Latin comedy was not in fashion in the classical world. There were other difficulties too connected with the revival of the play, the chief one being that the old college dormitory, where the plays used to be acted, had been bombed. It was a boy's idea that the play should be performed in Little Dean's Yard, in the heart of the school, in the open. And it was irresistible. It took a war to show what an ideal setting for a Latin play this was. The boys then, having read Terence's Phormio, decided that they would like to act it. And so, on the Ides of July, St. Swithin's Day, 1954, the Phormio was put on before an audience unprotected by marquee in the bitter cold of a British summer evening. Since then, the play has become biennial. 4 more of Terence's plays have been acted, and 4 of Plautus's. This revival of the Phormio is the 10th post-war production. The production itself has become far more elaborate and sophisticated than it was in 1954, when the whole cost was estimated at approximately £5, but its spirit remains the same. This film records various stages of the present production, including extracts from the final performance. Right, sit down, please. Phormio. This won't need a great deal of introduction to you about the Greek New Comedy, as we have already read Plautus's Captivi, but allow me to remind you that these Roman comedies are taken from Greek New Comedy of the 4th and 3rd centuries BC, of which the most famous writer is Menander. These are comedies concerning the ordinary lives of ordinary people, fathers, sons, girlfriends, wives, etc., etc. They are really the prototype of European comedy. This is the sort of comedy which Molière wrote about. This is the comedy which Terence and Plautus took from the Greek. Now, Terence himself, we haven't read any Terence yet. I'll say a few words about him. He was an African slave in origin. He lived in the next century after Plautus. He died possibly at the incredibly early age of 25. Certainly he didn't live to be older than 35. He writes a very different sort of Latin from Plautus, much more refined, much more elegant, and he is on the whole much more interested in human relationships and exploring particularly the generation gap, the relationship between fathers and sons. This is no new theme. The Phormio itself was first put on in 161 BC and is taken from a play called The Claimant at Law, in Greek, the Epidikasdomenos, I think we should take that name down, Epidikasdomenos of Apollodorus of Carystus, C-A-R-Y-S-T-U-S. Well, now that's all I'm going to say for the moment. We'll let Terence speak for himself. So let us turn to the prologue and read it to us in Latin first, please, guys then.
Postquam poeta vetus poetam non potes, retrahere ab studio, et transfere hominem in otium, maledictis de telere ne scribat parat.
Well, let's have de terrere, please.
De terrere.
Yes, it comes from terrere, doesn't it? All right, look, come on then, let's get ready now. Let's get on with this bit. I want to do, hurry up, please. Okay, I just put it anywhere around here, please. That'll do, that's fine, thank you. Good. Now, look, I want to do some of these awkward entries today. First of all, I want to do Getter coming in from the harbor in horror when he has just seen that Demophos arrived home. Line 175. Remember, the timing is very difficult. So, can you get out there, Getter, please? And Antiphon, you start up at Ego in the middle of the line, please. Right, quick, Getter. Hurry, please.
Ego, in eum incidi, in felix locum.
In felix. Right, start again at Ego.
Ego, in eum incidi, in felix locum, ut neque mihi sit armitendi, nec retinendi copia. Sed quid hoc est? Vidion ego getam curentem.
Right, let's stop a minute there. There wasn't much of curentem in Getter's approach to begin with. Antiphon, you did look up, but in a very sort of blasé way when he came in. Now, you've got to be much more excited, much more worried at the sight of Getter, who must be rushing in horror. Now, I remember, if you come in too fast, you're going to come on the stage too soon. So the obvious thing to do is to flop up against Dorio's house there, right? Now, remember, sorry, that is now Dorio's house, everyone. That's Demophos in the middle, and Cremes over there. So just flop up against there and just time it so that you come running on again just before Corentum, right? Okay, quickly, please. Back to the same place.